Alright, I think we're live. Where the hell is my OBS? There we are. Alright, good evening, morning, whatever time it is for you guys, because it's a weird time for me to stream. I don't normally stream at this time. Literally just woke up, so, not too long ago. Hair's a mess, beanie's a mess. The usual. Already had a bot in my Twitch chat I need to ban. Nice. Good way to start the stream. So we've got a lot of content today, We've got speed content, we've got rush content, we've got leaks, we've got the works, structure decks, boxes, we got everything, so should be a fun little stream. Yeah, should be fun. No panda hat today. No panda hat. You're getting the beanie. The beanie with the really scuffed hair sticking out of it. When isn't my hair scuffed? That's a real question. Oh god. Whatever. Yo, you late? No, the stream literally started like 30 seconds ago, so... Good morning. Evening, wherever you live. So yeah, we've got some stuff to look at, don't we? Alright. So, where do we start? So, I think we leave the leaks probably for last in case they're still getting updated, because this stuff only came out, like, not too long ago, so there's probably a few more skills and stuff that might get leaked over time. So, we might save the leaked stuff, which means, except for one thing, we'll talk about the lifetime skill that just got released as well. There's a new bundle there. So, we've got... what have we got to talk about? Structure, box, thingy, leaks. We'll do that one before the box. I'll do that one there. Alright, I think we'll do it in that order. Alright. Another raw box? I mean, to be fair, there's only like 4 archetypes in Rush Duel, so... There's only 4 archetypes, it's a bit hard not to have overlapping boxes. Also, we just get Raw as a released character or something, so it kind of makes sense. Or an unlockable, I guess. Does that mean no box of speed duel? The opposite. We're getting a Resonator Synchro box thing most likely at the end of the month or start of next month, whatever you want to call it. Because in the leaks, there's a pickup box. Ooh. No, there'll be a box for speed duel. There will still be a box for speed duel, don't you worry. There's going to be a very big synchro box. Alright, so let's start looking at some of this shit. Alright, let's start off by looking at the upcoming bundle and lifetime mission. Ooh, which is out in game, pretty sure. I don't think it's even upcoming. I'm pretty sure this is all out in game. Oh no, it's not. This is, wait. No, this one's out in game. These ones aren't yet. Alright, so. First of all, we have got a couple of new missions for, what's this, for Rush Duel? These are actually out in game as well. Alright, achieve 3 wins using only psychic monsters with Roman Cassidy. Alright. No holding back. Beat of the superstar. Okay, actually I might make my chat a little bit bigger. I can't really read you guys right now. It's a little bigger. There we go. Alright. This skill can be used if the only monsters with 1400 or more attack in your deck are psychic type monsters with 0 defense. At the beginning of your turn, from turn 2 and onward, you will no longer be able to resist the urge to become the ultimate duelist. Okay. On turn 2 and onward, during the turn you summoned a level 7 monster, add 1 level 2 or higher psychic type effect monster with 500 less attack from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. So it gives you back more materials for tribute summoning. That's kind of neat. The ultimate duelist. Is this going to turn you into the another version of this character? Is there going to be like another character? Because we've already got the angry Roman. Are we going to get like another version of her as well, where she's the ultimate duelist or something? I don't know. I don't follow the Rush anime, so I don't know if there's some weird sort of mode she turns into or something. But overall, pretty good. Seems just like a just generating resources skill, so it should be good. Not sure if it's better than the skills we currently have, but is it not once per duel? I mean, it's not once per duel either. That's pretty insane. She's gonna turn red eyes and angry or something. I mean, she already does that. Anyway, seems pretty good. What have we got for the next one? Achieve. Oh, we got another skill for okay. Surely there can't be a skill better than the one we currently have. Surely not. Achieve 3 wins using only Fiend type monster cards with Roa Cassidy. Death, Doom, Requiem. Okay. This skill can only be used if the only monsters except level 4 monsters in your deck are Fiend type. Plays up to 2 level 7 or higher light attribute Fiend type monsters in your hand on your field in defense position. There can only be 1 of each level, okay. While a monster placed on the field with this effect is face up on the field, its power position cannot be changed with a card effect. This turn, you cannot attack directly using a monster with 2600 or more attack. Wait, this seems like arse. What? Why would I use this over the current skill? Surely this is complete arse. Why would I ever use this over the current skill? Unless it's some being used for like. I mean, you can't. Nah, this seems bad, right? Oh, it's for the new monster. Oh, alright. I guess I have to read the new monster then. I have to read the new one. This does seem really odd because like the new skill is really fucking good. So, to my alerts back on. Like, I know the new skill is good. I was watching wasn't watching, but I was checking out the KC Cup to see who was topping. There's a lot of rollers at the top currently. The kind of Rush Duel KC Cup thing. So, yeah, not sure if this will be able to outdo the new skill. Maybe, or the newer old skill, whatever the hell would want to call it. But, I mean, if it's for the new monster, I guess, maybe you have to use it. Hey, thanks, Lolly, for the 9 months. Nice cool cat, bro. Appreciate it. Alright, next up we have the speed skill. So this is for the Red Eye zombie structure deck thing we just got, which is absolutely insane. This skill is absolutely mental. This is the skill we will hope, well, not the skill I was hoping for zombies. I was just hoping we get one that lets us play Zombie World at the start of the duel, straight on the field, but this one's the next best thing. This skill is really busted, by the way. So during this duel, you cannot normal or special summon any monsters from your hand or deck except for level 4 or lower dark zombie type monsters. So important to note, I think it's Gazuki? Yeah, Gazuki is an Earth. And I believe Mizuki is also Earth. So both these cards can't be normal summoned. Mizuki, it's not too bad, because I think you can discard him with the skill, but the Gazuki, you're not playing him in this deck. Alright. The following effects can be used once per duel. Send up to 2 level 6 or lower zombie type monsters from your hand to the graveyard. Then set 1 zombie reborn from outside of your deck to the field and send 1 red eye zombie dragon lord from your extra deck to the graveyard. That can be special summoned. Until the end of your next turn, you cannot special summon level 7 or higher monsters from your extra deck or graveyard except for synchro monsters. Alright, so the one thing I'm a bit annoyed about with this skill is it has like a bit of negative synergy with the card we already have in the game. I always forget this guy's name, the stupid zombie dude. There is it. This card? This card's level 8. So if you put this dude in the graveyard, you can't even summon it with the skill, because the skill literally prevents you from doing so. Until the end of your next turn. So you literally activate the skill and then you cannot summon him during your opponent's turn or anything. So it feels kind of bad in that sense. But the actual skill itself is crazy for what you want to do with it. Because there's going to be a massive amount of synchro summoning done. It's going to give you this card in the graveyard, which is the boss monster we got from the structure deck, which is a card that can literally resummon itself back to the field. And we're also getting Zombie Reborn, a card that can also revive zombies from your graveyard. I think there was a combo that was done a few months ago, and this skill was leaked that someone was showing on DLM, which is a 0 card Sun Saga. And by 0 card, it means you just don't normal summon, you just discard cards in your hand, activate the skill. So it's not technically 0 card because you have discard cards, but you just discard cards and then you'd make a Sun Saga without a normal summon with this kind of a skill. So this should be crazy. I'll save talking about the actual cards in here until we go through the structure deck though. And I think we've already gone through Zombie Reborn because it was in one of the it was in the previous box. So we'll talk about this dude when we get to the structure deck though. Is the structure worth it? Oh yeah, it will be. Isn't this also a 1-card Beatrice? I mean, yeah, but like I said before, like I mentioned just then, you can't summon this card with the skill. So what's the point of making Beatrice? Who you dump into the grave? You literally cannot summon this card with the skill. I don't know why they did that, but they made it so that you can't summon it, because you cannot special summon level 7 or higher monsters from your extra deck or the graveyard, except for synchro monsters. It's like, okay. Great. So this card, I don't think you're even going to run this guy in the deck list. If you do, you're going to play him at 1. Alright. Then we have a new bundle, wowee, for this man here. Arc Fiend Soldier. Fiend Normal. An expert at battle who belongs to a crack diabolical unit. He's famous because he always gets the job done. Holy, 1900 attack. Does this, can this be used with the current Fiend skill? I can't remember if the Fiend skill changes just Fiends, or if it has to be a light Fiend that it changes. Oh, damn it. Oh, it does work with it, okay. Cool, because this deck currently doesn't play a legend monster, so they've now got a legend monster they can play. Cool. So the deck that's currently considered the best deck in the game just got even better. Wowee, that's insane. Alright, moving on though, not much else to say about that, just a nice 1900 attack beater for that stuff. Alright, Zombie Structure Deck, where we've got 5 new cards? 5 new cards? Reprinting a Plague Spreader. This card's been reprinted a bunch though now. Alright, so let's go through them. Starting off with Mr. Crow Tengu over here. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, it's sent to the graveyard, or if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one attachment monster your opponent controls, destroy it. You only use the effect once per turn. Alright, so this is a pretty powerful effect, but I don't think we're going to be using it, because I'm pretty sure the combo we're doing with this deck list is going to be putting this card in the graveyard, which has the same effect. Yeah, which has the same effect. You can just target, when anything is special summoned, you can banish something. So I don't think we'd use this, unless this just works with your standard combo somehow or something. But I think the main combo we're doing with the deck is just summoning this thing, which does the exact same thing. So unless there's like a specific combo with this card, you might not use it. You might play it as like a one-off or something, and just as a mill target or something, I don't know. But I think the way the deck's got to function is going to be a little bit more focused on milling the tuners and stuff, right? Milling the cards that lead to the big Syncos, rather than milling the destruction you do here. So I don't think we're going to be using this, but we might. Obviously, we haven't actually built any decks with this yet, so who knows? It's not a terrible card, but it's not something you want to. It's not something I want plenty of, I don't think. All right, Immortal Dragon. 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monsters, level 6. During your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you do, this card's level becomes the difference between its original level and the level sent, okay? When a zombie monster is destroyed battle while this card is in your graveyard, you special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You get these effects once per turn. Alright. So not a bad card either. I think a lot of people saw this card as being like an easy Beatrice summon or something. I think I thought I saw was in the zombie Discord or in the DLM zombie channel at some point, but yeah, just another way to mill more zombies. I'm new to dueling. What's it like compared to the regular format? It's just a lot more, it's kind of like Edison, I think. The easiest way to describe it's like Edison. Because, like, the format's got, like, a lot of, like, powerful combos and stuff, but it's not like you're setting up 15 different negates and 15 different combos that last 17 decades. Your extra deck is, like, 8 cards. It's just a bunch of, it's literally a speed format, like the game says, so. Speed format, but it's technically slower in terms of, like, the combos you're doing and stuff. Don't compare. I'm not comparing to Beatrice. I'm saying it's a Beatrice Maker. It's level 6. It's a Beatrice Maker. Although I don't. The skill probably locks you out of Beatrice. Now I think about it. What was the skill again? I'm pretty sure the skill actually locks you out of Beatrice. Oh yeah, you can't even make Beatrice in this deck. Never mind. Ignore that. So what era of cards is dueling set? I don't think that we really have an era because we don't follow the TCG at all. Like, at all. Alright, this card seems pretty good, but it's not the one we were looking for this deck. We're looking more towards these two over here. These are the two bigger ones. This one's might be used just because of its being able to mill something. It might be used as part of a specific combo or something. Hard to know until we actually play the deck, but these are the two we're really looking for. Alright, what does this guy do? Cheng-Shi the Spirado? Spirado? Okay. During your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Okay. If this card is banished, you can banish one zombie monster in your graveyard. Special summon this card. Okay. I'll place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. You only use the effect once per turn. Alright. So I assume you dump this card with something, and then you can banish it with various different things, such as your Mr. Red-Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord over here. And then you can use his effect to mill something else, which sounds crazy, actually. So you just normal summon your... Hey, is Oni Zombie? Is it Oni or Oni Zombie? Oh my god. Where's he at? If you summon this guy, you send a zombie to your graveyard. Send this dude. You already have this card in the graveyard due to the skill. You banish using this thing's effect. You have to have 2 zombies in graveyard for it, though. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Surely. Surely you can set that up. That sounds actually really good. And this deck's gonna have a lot of combos. It's really hard to review it though, because like I can't theorize what the combos are gonna look like until I actually play the shit. So I assume it's gonna be this card will be good. It sounds insane, but just with how the skill works. So another zombie dump is just another plague spreader. Another you could even start dumping this dude if you really wanted to. I don't know if we were gonna play this card, but. You could dump your Mizuki, your Mizukis. Sounds crazy. Plus it's level 6, so it actually works just if you open it. If you hard draw this card, it's not even a brick, because the skill dumps it in the graveyard for you. So it's literally not even a brick to open it, which is great. The skill of Brickfest? The skill's out, it's in the game. It's right here. The skill is in the game. We just went through it. Alright. Skeletal Dragon Felgrand. If this card is special summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard, banish it. Very, very strong, considering this card can summon stuff back from the graveyard. We'll talk about that in a second. Alright, if a monster is special summoned from the graveyard while this monster is face up on the field, you can target one other face up monster on the field, negates effects until the end of the turn. You only use the effect once per turn. So, technically 2 lots of disruption, but the second lot of disruption here is one of those incredibly weak versions of disruption. Something that realistically doesn't matter too much outside of like a Ubel matchup or something. It's like where there's like a monster on the field that just doesn't have like an actual effect outside of just protecting itself, so you can negate it. Because obviously, if your opponent normal summons a monster, activates its effect. You can't just like chain this thing to negate it. That's just how it works. You have to like summon something, wait for everything to resolve, then target something for a negate. So the main use of this card, I believe, will be summoning it back during the opponent's turn to banish something, I believe. But the negate does exist, it's just not super relevant. It'll be more relevant, I think, during your turn for negating things like Sun Saga's protection or something, or forcing out someone's special summon or something. But very strong card all the same. Also level 8, so yeah. Alright, Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord. During your opponent's turn, quick effect. You can target one zombie monster in your graveyard, except for Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord, special summon it. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one zombie monster you control, special summon this card. You only use the effect once per turn. So you can use this during your opponent's turn to banish your opponent's shit. It can summon itself back from the graveyard just because the skill puts it in there. You can use it to banish this dude. There was I was trying to think of the exact combo, but it's not this zombie. It's not this version of Plague Spreader. I think it's the other one. Plague Spreader. This one reduces the level by 2, right? Yeah, this thing reduces level by 2. So you put this thing in the graveyard. You can use this to reduce this guy by 2, and then you can make a Sun Saga with it. So he can literally just make like a 1 card or 0 card sort of Sun Saga via this kind of shit, which is already pretty insane to think about. It's actual crazy ass shit you can do with it. And of course, you have the Zombie Reborn on the field as well, which is just target a zombie in your graveyard, banish one monster with the same name from your deck or extra deck, so you can just banish another one of these if you wanted to. And if you do special summon the targeted monster, if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one of your banished monsters into the deck, and if you do, set this card. Yeah, so it should be actually really insane stuff going on with this deck. It should definitely be. I'm not sure if it'll be like a top tier deck or anything. Absolutely no clue on that, but it will definitely be a playable deck, that's for sure. The only thing I'm sort of worried about is we're a little bit limited on I think proper ways for the deck to start, because you obviously normally want to use your why am I typing Oni? Zombie. You normally want to use this card as your main starter. But unfortunately, this card, you normally summon off of things like your Shiranui Solitaire, which you can't play in the deck because the skill stops you, and you can't play your Gazuki either. So maybe you'll have to start using cards like actually using Samurai Skull or something. But I guess you can send cards from hand to grave, so who knows. Should be good though. Turn 1 level 10 or level 8 in grave setup. I think you'll be doing more than that. I'm pretty sure you'll be doing more than that. That's like the bare minimum setup. Like if you got any amount of cards in hand, you'll be setting up such crazy shit with this. And you might not have enough space to set up too much stuff, and there isn't exactly like too many insane zombies to have on the field turn 1, so your field might end up just looking something like that. Just nothing too crazy, because there isn't that many crazy interactions you can set up with zombie. But I know going second you'll be doing a lot more, because like I said, the Sun Saga play sounds pretty crazy. Just summoning a Sun Saga without even doing a normal summon sounds ridiculous. Plus, these cards themselves already have, like, decent stat lines. These cards are both 2800 attack. That's a lot of damage already. Yeah, the one thing I am disappointed about this structure deck, though, like I said earlier, is that it doesn't look like a Bold Rock structure. Like, I see no reason to play Bold Rock in this. Do we even play... Like, does this deck even use Zombie World? Like, is there even, like, a singular reason for this deck to play Zombie World? Like, there isn't, right? It's not like Uni Zombie needs a Zombie World or something. Yeah, not really. It feels kind of weird to have just had, like, this new, like, zombie stuff released. And I don't think that we're going to be playing it in this deck. That sounds really, like... You know, not very cool, but... In a 30 card pile deck? Yeah, okay, sure. How many copies of the structure deck we need? I can't answer that question because we haven't played it yet. It doesn't actually seem like that many though. I think you'll have to have 2 because you need for zombie reborn purposes, you're gonna want to have 2 of these guys so you can summon them without using. Just you can use the zombie reborn to summon them, I believe. So it's at least 2. I don't think we'll be on 3 of this guy, unless we might be on 3 of this card just because you can discard him, but seems kind of weird to play 3 of it. It seems kind of bricky to play 3. But you discard him with the skill anyway, so it might be on. He might be a card you just play at 3 as well. Who knows? One bench was only one's not Doom King, no zombie stuff. I mean, I don't even see a point of that because you literally can't summon your Boulder Rock. So like, what's even the point? The skill prevents you from summoning him. So it's like, oh, okay. I guess it's just... Okay. And I think if I build a deck, I'm probably not going to be including the Zombie World stuff. Just seems like unnecessary brick type stuff. Check some DLM decks. I don't think they've built too much yet, have they? Because it only just came out. I'd be surprised if they built stuff. No, they haven't got anything built yet. The stuff I was looking at was from, like, actually, like, when the skill was initially leaked. And we didn't even know what cards were specifically coming yet, so it's hard to sort of say. It was hard for them to sort of say. We might be able to check some at the end of the stream, though, once people built some more. Alright, so that's the zombie structure deck, and that is the bundles done. What is next? We have the Roa Cassidy stuff. We have the new mini tiny rush box here. And then we have the leaks, which have the... Which doesn't seem too big, actually. I don't think we have that many leaks today. So, I guess we'll go through... Let's go through the leaks first. Why not? Alright, so we've got some leaks. So, we've got a pickup box that is coming for Resonator, Synchro stuff, and your TGs. Your Synchrons, your TGs, and your Resonator. And this basically confirms that the speed box we're getting, which will be the start of next month, same as always, or I assume same as always, will be, yeah, these archetypes, which sounds really good for viewership, not gonna lie. This sounds like a fucking cash cow right here. YouTubers are frothing at the mouth when they see a box like this. Holy. Yeah, this should be fun. After playing Resonator and Master Duel, like, if they give us a single one of that juicy new support cards, like a single card from that, like, all that decent stuff, Resonators will be insane, so... Because Resonators currently, it's not like it's a, like, unplayable deck, it's just sort of good. So, with any new support, holy shit, it'll be crazy. Plus Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur will probably come via a skill, right? It won't be actually just given via the box. That's not happening. That's cope. But yeah, we'll also be getting the, there's a new Synchro character coming too, who isn't being leaked yet or anything like that, but it was shown on Konami's, like, thingy. They announced it in game or something somewhere. So, yeah, new box sounds like it's going to be insane, and of course, a pickup box makes it easier for you to get the art types if you don't own them yet, so that's all good. It's great. Alright, then we have some skills, which we don't know where these are coming from, right? Or these... Wait, these are skills we have in game currently? Did I just go through these skills? Hey, I've already gone through these 2 skills. We have them in game. What's this one? Royal Roman Advance. This skill can be used if the only monsters in your deck are Fiend type or Psychic type. Return 2 monsters except level 4 monsters of different types from your graveyard to your deck. Choose one face-up, light attribute, or psychic type monster on your field. This turn, the chosen monster can be treated as 2 tributes to the tribute summon of a heavy metal or Prima. I think we've got better skills than this currently, so I don't think this one matters too much. It doesn't sound like a bad skill, but I think we've already got some, I think we've probably got better skills currently. But either way, that's enough of that. Let's go look at the, actual box now, probably. Actually, I guess we'll look at the new Cassidy cards that just got released via the character as well, so we'll cover them real quick. So, 2 new cards for Royal Cassidy via the event. Oh, okay, thanks, Brad. So this is the field spell, right? I think this was leaked the other day or something, because I remember reading this. Royal Rebels Arena. Activate this card if your opponent has 2 or more monsters on their field. While this card is face up in the field zone, face up light attribute fiend type monsters in the field cannot be destroyed by trap effects. Actually relevant, but it seems this card's incredibly weird because, like, it's used specifically to counter a singular card in the game, which makes it really weird to use it. But at the same time, when you play back row removal in your Royal Rebel deck, you're basically only targeting one back row anyway, right? You're literally only trying to hit the widespread. Because any other, like, attack reduction thing or just something that, like, defends their monsters or something, they're all completely worthless because their field is normally deleted. So, if you're only caring about one card, why not play the one card that guaranteed outs it, you know? It's already power creeps by a card in the box? Oh. I see. Never mind then. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird card anyway. I'd be interested to see if people want to play it, but I'll just see once I've read the actual box cards. Alright. Royal Rebels Command. Is this one even showing on the screen? My fat head blocking this. No, you can read it. Alright, send 1 Fiend type monster from your hand to the graveyard. 1 face-up light attribute Fiend type monster on your field gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. Then you can change its battle position. Attack position becomes face-up defense position. Defense position becomes face-up attack position. Right. I mean, 1000 attack buff is something. At the cost of sending a Fiend type monster from your hand to the graveyard, though? I don't think so. So I don't think this deck was lacking in damage, I'll be honest. I think we were already doing enough damage. I don't think we need more damage. I'm good on that one. Oh, that's for the skill? What, is the skill search this thing or something? Did I miss something? Oh. I've already forgotten what the skill said. Now, why is it important for the skill? No, it changes battle position? Its battle position can only be changed with a card effect. So the idea is you use this thing on your own card to put it in attack. Or you're just putting them in defense. Now, that sounds like a whole lot of convoluted stuff that I don't understand, so I'm just going to move on. Alright, moving on. Let's look at the cards in the box. Okay, let's look at some cards in the box. Alright, so starting off with the normals. What have we got in here? Thunder Beetle Snare. What are you, a Thunder Monster level 1? Popular, unique, and always energetic. It sends out its sounds every day with the belief that it will find friends. Oh, it's looking for friends. It can resonate with. Damn. I can resonate with this card right here. Sending out sounds in the hope of finding friends. You know, I think we can all resonate with that one. Too bad I don't think anyone really cares about this card outside of... I guess level 1 makes it really annoying for Royal Rebel since they, they summon their big-ass boss monster and this thing just chunks the attack sucking effect. So, I guess it's got that going for it. Alright, then we have... Let me make this thing even bigger. Then we have Thunder Beetle Boost. When an opponent's level 8 or lower monster with attack greater than your life points declares an attack while you have a face-up Thunder-type monster on your field, gain life points equal to the attack of the face-up monster on your opponent's field. Okay, so that gives you a fat ton of life points, actually. But, actually, that just doesn't sound too bad. Doesn't sound too bad. I think I'd prefer... a trap card that's coming up later, because I'm pretty sure I read one of these earlier, or I've seen this one before. So, I think this card's already getting power cracked by this one, but we'll talk about that in a second. But on its own, it's not the worst trap card out there. Anything that stops you dying in Rush Duel sounds really good, just because of how the format works, where there just really isn't that many solid back row cards right now. So just a card that stops you dying, I mean, sure, I guess. Oh yeah, it doesn't work on maximums too, which is important, but I don't think that matters as much. Resonator? If it worked on maximums, it'd definitely be a lot better. But not the worst trap card I've ever read. Alright. Thunder Beetle Hi-Hat. Okay. A multi-faced older brother type. It sends out its sounds every day, the belief that it will find friends it can... Oh, another person just trying to find friends. Aww. Oh, these cards are kind of cute. They just want to have friends, man. I wish there's more supporting cards that were designed just for these beetles. They're kind of adorable. Is this one trying to find friends too? A gentle but powerful and trustworthy creature that stands in the background. And it's also trying to find friends. These cards kind of cool. Too bad I don't know ever see any play, but... Anyway, moving on. Ghoulish Gal. Oh my god. This one's... She looks like she's had a rough night. In the men's bathroom down in the basement, you'll suddenly feel a presence behind your back, but you know you should absolutely not turn back until you've finished your business. If you happen to look back and end up seeing that monster. What the... She's in the toilet? Is that why I mean, I'd have an expression like that too if I was getting shit on. I don't know. That's a understandable expression. Righto. Is that our first zombie monster? Do we have any zombies in Rush currently? Here, look. Zombie. Oh no, we do have a couple of zombies already. Okay. Wait, there's actually more Thunder Beetle stuff, we just don't have it? Damn, why wouldn't they give us the rest of the Thunder Beetle stuff, man? That's fucked up. Alright, anyway. They can all be friends in the 5-cent bin together? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Alright, the thing in the purple mirror. Okay. Everyone, do you know the phrase purple mirror? If you do know it, then be careful. If you don't, forget it by the time you turn 20, then... Huh? Huh? Forget it by the time you turn 20? What does that even mean? Alright, well, I don't know what that obscure reference is aiming at, but moving on. Loomed Edge, unlucky. Alright, Doll of Dread. When you're sleeping in the dressing room, you'll feel a bit of sleep paralysis in the darkness if you squint your eyes at your bedside. What? Who has a bed in their... What? Who has a bed in their dressing room? In a dressing room? I'm confused. When you're sleeping in the dressing room, if you squint your eyes at your bedside, where are these guys sleeping? What the fuck is a dressing room? Whenever I hear dressing room, I assume some sort of like a theater. That kind of dressing room. The fuck is a dressing room? Why is there a bed in it? Alright, whatever. Moving on. I'm digging too much. I'm digging too deep on this. Let's move on. Alright, Endo. Okay. Send a monster from your hand to the graveyard. Send this card from your field to the graveyard. Then you can set up to 2 Climax Finale and or Psychic Introduction from your graveyard in your Spell and Trap card zone. What is Psychic Introduction? Finale is... We know what Finale is, but what's Psychic Introduction? Introduction. Oh, that as well. Send monster from your hand to the graveyard. Send this card to the graveyard to grab 2 Spell and Trap cards from your graveyard. That doesn't sound too good. Especially considering both those cards currently aren't seeing that much play, right? That sounds pretty bad. 1 card from the field, 1 card from the hand to grab 2 cards from the graveyard you might not have in there. And they're cards that are not seeing that much play at the moment, I think. Alright, I don't see a whole lot of use for this. Maybe there's a use I'm not seeing, but it seems kind of meh. Peace Holder, Psychic Normal. A police officer who keeps the peace in the local area. She is struggling to solve certain missing persons cases. Okay. Cool, new waifu for the Psychic collection. 1500 attack waifu, not bad, not bad. How many packs is in this box, by the way, chat? Does anyone know? Is it like a 30 pack box or what? How many packs is in this box? Alright, Crawling Torso. Didn't we just have a cut? Oh no, it's this one. Okay. During the turn you normal summon this card, add 1 zombie type normal monster with 0 attack from your graveyard to your hand. Oh shit! A new package, boys! A new package released. Oh, we don't know? Okay. Well, this card's gonna see play somewhere. This is literally a new beast package card, right? This is just the unicorn package, not unicorn. Why did I get the card wrong? The stupid, not psychic, the aqua package, right? Oh, this is definitely gonna see play somewhere. This is literally the aqua package, right? So sure, this will be played in a lot of decks if you can fit it. It's literally the aqua package back again, just unlimited. It only has there's only 1 singular target in the game, actually? Oh. Oh, that makes it considerably not as good. But I guess, to be fair, the base package is generally not played, like, with that many of the other one. Then they play, like... They don't always play... like, 6 extra base targets. Who the hell is it? Oh, it's literally just the new one. One zombie type normal monster. Wait, aren't these zombies? Wait, huh? Am I missing something? Damn, right out here fucking lying his ass off. Now this is a sick package. You'll see this in a lot of things. If a skill allows it, you'll see this in a lot of things now. Which is kind of funny to think about. The aqua package is going to be on the ban list when there's literally an entire new version of it that does the exact same thing. It'll be used for the exact same reason. Should they unlimit aqua now? Surely, right? You can't release this and not unrelease Aqua, because it's doing the exact same thing. Like, card for, like, ability for ability. They're literally the same card, so... Surely the Seahorse Carrier comes off now. Alright, moving on. Samba Zombie Rio. A zombie that constantly shuffles around awkwardly. It has no sense of self, but hasn't forgotten the rhythm of the samba that's seeped into its body. The fucking what? The samba? Is it like a song or something? Alright, well, cool. And that's 1500 attack zombie, so there you go. Alright, they're all 0 attack though. I don't think that matters like at all. You're just using them for tribute fodder. That's all you're using the Seahorse package stuff for. Wasn't there for any, like, people playing the 0 defense, 1400 attack Aqua. But the 0 attack doesn't really matter too much. Like, the Aqua package is technically better because it's better stats, but it's there for tribute fodder. That's the main reason for it. Alright. Oh, it's a Brazilian dance style. Oh, okay. He doesn't seem to be doing too much dancing. Alright, Clap and Thunder. You have 2 or more face-up Thunder-type monsters on your field. All face-up monsters on your opponent's field lose 400 attack and defense until the end of this turn. Then if you have 3 or more Thunder-type monsters on your field, you can draw 1 card. Oh, a draw as well. So minus 400, draw a card. I mean, this seems incredibly easy to do, right? I mean, is there a reason not to play this? There's really no reason not to play this, right? Why wouldn't you play it? It's just a minus attack for your opponent, and then it replaces itself, so why wouldn't you use it? Doesn't skillfully reduce attack? Well, yeah, but, like, what is the reason not to use this? At bare minimum, it's a cycle. Alright, what's even, like, where's the downside? I guess the downside is if you draw multiple copies of it, it's a brick, so maybe only play 1 or 2 of it, just for an extra cycle. Steal your deck of garbage instead and draw into good stuff. It seems pretty good to me, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to play it. I guess maybe if you're just worried about your deck bricking too much, you don't want to play too many spell cards, you want to make sure you're guaranteed drawing like enough normal summons and high level monsters to be able to set up your field, but I mean, I could see a world where this card gets played, but I could also see a world where people just like, we don't care about the attack reduction, we don't care about the draw, we're just going to guarantee our hands are having a good amount of monsters and high level monsters in them to actually conduct the tribute summons and stuff. But I can see a world where people play like 1 or 2 of this just because it generally, most of the time, on average, won't have a downside, but alright, next up, we have Royal Rebels Phaser. If you have a face-up level 7 or higher Fiend-type monster on your field, send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard. Spirit or summon level 7 or higher Fiend-type monster from your graveyard to your field in face-up defense position. So this is to do with the new guy, right? So it's to help with this guy up here. It's also important, I guess, because it works with the new spell card from the event. You can change your fiends back to attack position, I guess. Sure, I guess. I mean, you're probably gonna have to use this if you want to play the new guy, right? Sure. So I think this is all to do with the big guy. We'll talk about this guy in a second, because I think it's all about the fact this card requires 2 level 7 or higher Fiend-type monsters, so this thing just gives you one of those level 7 or highers. Not much else to say about. I think it's directly being used with this card. Alright, Future Diviner. You have a face-up level 7 or higher Psychic-type monster on your field. Draw 1 card and send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. So nice Cycler. Sure, I think typically all the Cyclers have seen play that we've got in the game. The Fiend one sees play, the Spellcaster one sees play, so I don't see why this one wouldn't. I guess this one specifically needs a level 7 Psychic on the field to use it, which feels kind of bad, because you have to use it like at the end of your plays rather than at the start of them, sort of. Whereas all the others you sort of use immediately. Kind of a bit of a weird condition, honestly, but... I mean, if you've got room, if there's not that many good normal summons in Psychic, this one seems like a pretty good one, so sure. Do you already read the structure? Yes. Feel free to scroll back in the stream if you want to see that. Rogue of Archfiend. Send one face-up Fiend-type monster from your field to the graveyard. Up to 2 face-up Fiend-type monsters in your field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's trap card effects this turn. Oh. Okay. So if your opponent has some back row, you haven't managed to remove their widespread yet, you can use this card, send it to the graveyard, make one of your monsters immune, and just swing with it safely. So this is very important for considering with the current version of the deck, because a lot of the time with the Royal Rebel deck, you have your boss monster face up, and then you do actually have another monster next to it. Normally you just put it in defense position, unless you happen to open the... Specifically, there's the Fiend that could change its level to be able to attack as well. But most of the time, you just have a Fiend face down and your boss monster. So that Fiend face down, it could just be this card. You just summon this card, send it to the graveyard, make your dude immune to widespread. Guaranteed swing in for lethal. Sounds pretty crazy. I don't think it's going to be too crazy though, because at the same time, although you're making yourself immune to widespread, you are just losing a monster. So if you aren't able to kill your opponent during that turn, and you are sending your monster to the graveyard, you're going to have one less monster to defend yourself from taking 1 billion damage on the take back, so... I mean, seems alright, but I'm not super confident on it being like a absolute game changer for the deck or anything. Seems good though if you're going for lethal though. You're going for lethal damage, and like you're only really worried about one sort of trap card, I mean, sure. But it shouldn't be too much of a game changer. Alright. More zombie shit. I can go back to using Ancient Warriors. I mean, the new zombie shit looks pretty fun, so... And it's not like it's going to be playing Shiranui stuff outside of, like, their synchros. It's better than the field spell, though. I mean, not necessarily. The field spell, if you draw it, you just put it on the field, and it lasts the entire duel unless your opponent removes it. And if they're removing that, they're not removing your widespread, so you're probably happy about that. Like, if you draw the field spell, you just stick it on the field and just sits there the entire game. So, like, you don't really lose that much value over the course of the game, whereas this guy, he literally gets rid of himself, you know? So it's not necessarily better than the field spell. The field spell needs 2 monsters on field on your opponent. Wait, does it? Wait, does it? Wait, why would there be 2 monsters on your opponent's field? Your deck gets rid of them. Wait a minute. Actually? Oh, let's just activate it. Use it at the start of the turn. That's not hard to do. You literally just use it at the start of the turn. That's not hard to do. That's just to activate it. You just slam this thing on the field as soon as this turn starts. It's not like your opponent's going to leave their field empty turn 1. And you just leave it there for the rest of the duel, so... I can see one of these just being played in Fiend. I don't think you play more than one of it. I think you just play it for the RNG. You draw this before they draw their 1 copy of widespread. I mean, that sounds like a pretty decent gamble, right? Just draw this before they draw their widespread. Both of you only have 1 copy of them in the deck. You know, just take the RNG factor. Just win the RNG factor. It's easy. That sounds like a decent play. And it defends you from widespread for the rest of the game unless your opponent hits it with an MST or something, which you don't even care about because then they're not going to hit your own back row with it, so... Yeah, I think I prefer this card currently, just as a one-off. Not like I'm not going to run this card, it's just that I don't think this card's going to be like super game-breaking or anything for the deck. Alright, moving on. Thunder, a limit 3. This card better be good. Thunder Gazelle. Okay, what do you do? If your opponent has no cards in their hand, shuffle 2 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Choose one face-up monster from the field. If it attacks a defense pushing monster this turn, inflict piercing damage. Oh, it just does that? I mean, the skill does... That's really impactful for the big... Not for the big boss, but for the smaller boss. Because the big boss already gets piercing if they have no cards in hand, right? So... This just gives piercing to the 2400 attack guy as well, potentially, if you wanted to. Makes your opponent want to keep a card in hand at all times versus this deck. Kind of easy to play around, I guess. Dragius tags, that's fair, that's fair. Oh yeah, it's really generic, right? It can target any monster, doesn't even have to be, doesn't even have to be Thunders, so I guess you can literally play this in any deck, but hasn't got limit 3, so that makes sense. That makes sense as to why it's limited. You don't want to... This thing is literally generically playable with anything to give anything piercing, so... I can see that. It's like having Pierce, but on a natural monster. So... That makes sense to give it limit 3. Don't particularly want this in every single deck in the game, just piercing my opponent to death. That would be not very fun, so... But yeah, in Thunder itself, this seems pretty crazy, actually. Because Thunder was already playing a bunch of random Pierce shit, right? They're already playing the Warrior one, just because they can. There is it. Trying to avoid sneezing, hang on. Yeah, literally they're already playing, what's his face? This dude. Literally just giving itself piercing damage because your skill puts things in defense. You just swap this card out for something and give the 2400 attack piercing instead, which sounds way better. Or just play both, because why not, so... Alright, moving on to the most impactful card, though, in the box. A card that when I first saw there was no traps in Rush Duel, the first thing I asked them to do was exactly what this card is doing. Literally this. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, shuffle 3 monsters from the graveyard into the deck, negate the attack. We should have had trapped cards like this from the start, man. This would have solved the Dragius problem instantly. Because the only thing that was annoying about Dragius at the start of Rush Duel was the fact that it would hit one monster, and then you're just taking 2500 damage, and this just feels unavoidable. Because if you don't have 3 monsters in defense, your opponent would just hit 2 of them, Dragius double attack, fat damage straight to the face. This card solves the Royal Rebel problem too. If your opponent's playing Royal Rebel, you just set this thing. If they don't have a back row removal, they wipe your field, try to swing in. This thing gets flipped, they get screwed over massively. And since Royal Rebel's like the best deck currently in the format, I mean, it will no longer be after this card, surely. This card like heavily counters Royal Rebel, because like half of their attacks are going to be direct. Like, if Royal Rebel is super popular, this card just directly counters it, so I don't see why you wouldn't play this. Yeah, I suspect this will see a lot of play. It doesn't have some stupid level requirement on it too, so if your opponent's playing like a maximum monster or something and they can swing into you directly for whatever reason, this thing can prevent that as well. Seems pretty good. It's a trap. These are the kind of trap cards I was asking for from the start, because I don't particularly like widespread being in the game too much. I think widespread's a little bit kind of feels pretty bad being a one-off widespread in existence, where it's just like, oh, did your opponent draw the widespread or did you draw the widespread? Feels like a lot of games of Rush Duel, which feels awful. So I want just some generic cards that just say negate the attack. That would be great. So. Good card. Glad they released it. I'm hoping it will see a lot of play. If it doesn't see play, then I'll be disappointed. But I think it will see a lot of play. Especially in a Royal Rebel format. Alright. Esperade, the Smashing Superstar. So we've already seen this card before, because it's from the skill, actually. Your life points are 1000 or lower. Destroy up to 2 monsters on your opponent's field. So getting yourself to below 1000 life points with the Psychic deck isn't exactly super hard to do, but at the same time, it's also like... it's not... Like, it's not something that you kind of... It's not super hard to do, but it's difficult enough where... I don't know, man. It feels kind of... I don't know. It's hard to visualize a world where I think this deck could be strong with this card being like... This card's effect being actively used is kind of what I'm thinking at. Like, getting your life points to 1,000 or lower, especially with the cards like this in the game now that are stopping you dying. Like, if you're just putting yourself that low... I mean, you can heal yourself up with some cards, I guess, but if your life points are even slightly low, you're just dying on the following turn, man, so... Less than 1,000 is a low amount of life points. Like, the reason I think this works so well with the skill version is just because it gives it to you, like, when you need it, rather than just giving it to you at the start of the duel where it's fairly worthless. But I guess at worst, it's, like, just a 25 attack beater, right? So it can't be that bad. Have to wait and see, I'm not so super sure on this card, though. Very unsure. Like, if you're not OTKing, you're dying, right? So, I don't know. With cards like this now, that sounds kind of sus. Alright, Royal Rebels Doom Metal. During the turn, you normal summon this card by attributing 2 level 7 or higher Fiend type monsters, destroy all face-up monsters on your opponent's field, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the total original levels of the monster destroyed by this effect times 100. Alright, that is a very painful effect. Nuking the entire field, burning your opponent for God knows how much, like 1,200 or something, maybe even more than that on average. But it does require you to tribute 2 level 7s, which is why the skill just puts them on the field for you, I think it did. What was the skill again? But you can't attack directly with it if you use the skill, though. So you nuke the field, but can't attack directly, which sounds not too great, actually. Is that even good? You nuke your opponent's field, but then you have to just sit there and chill. I guess you summon out smaller guys to attack with, I guess. But it's like a 3 card. You have to have 2 high-level monsters, this card, and I guess you have just... Yeah, I guess you still have two other monsters, right? Or 2 other potential cards, so I guess you get a little bit of damage in. But you can attack directly? Oh my god, it's 2,500 attack. Wait, you're not wrong, you can attack directly with it. Ah. Okay. That sounds kind of gross. I mean, it's not exactly doing anything that is the current version of the deck isn't doing, so, I mean... Like, it's not like this is like a game breaker or anything. It's very similar to what the current deck does, right? Because the current deck summons a 2,300 attack that just wipes the field attacks directly, so just the same thing. I guess this thing has a lot more damage with the burn as well. It's also important to know if your opponent sets monsters. This thing only destroys face up, right? And this skill doesn't flip things face up or anything. So your opponent just sets a monster, you kind of get screwed over a bit. The new skill be nerfed? Or this one? Maybe. I mean, the fact it doesn't flip is pretty bad. Because, like, the current Royal Rebel skill, right? Literally, going second, you just wipe their field, hit him in the face, and they can't do anything about it. This skill, going second, most of the time your opponent just set 3 monsters. You're just summoning monsters that don't do anything. Right? Like, I think the current skill is better than this one, right? Unless I'm just... Maybe I'm coping too hard. But I personally feel like the current skill is better than this one. The flip just sounds way stronger. Plus, this one specifically requires you to have a buttload of high-level monsters, right? In order for this to work. I don't know. If you draw 3 level 7s, including this card, and 1500 attack, you can do 500 damage in a single turn. I mean, Royal Rebel already does that, though. Right? Like, you're already doing, like, the What's-His-Face already does 5000 damage in a turn. If your opponent has, like, a single boss monster with 2500 attack on the field, you just take, you literally just gain the 2500 attack and hit him in the face. Or hit any of his monsters. Like, I don't know. It feels like, it just feels like you're doing the exact same thing the current deck is doing, but exactly the same, except I think it seems slightly worse. This can OTK. It OTKs if your opponent doesn't set a thing face down. And like also your opponents aren't brain damaged, right? Like, if your opponent sees you're playing this particular deck, they're just gonna set monsters instead, right? You saw the current skill didn't take back for a small balance adjustment? Okay. I know. Reading this, I'm pretty convinced. Like, I've got a small brain, okay? My rush tool knowledge is small and tiny and brain damaged, but I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, there is counterplay to this one. There's no counterplay to the current skill. You know? The current skill is just like, oh, my opponent decides to flip my entire field face up, and I die. This one's like, oh, my opponent's playing this skill. Let me just set my stuff face down. Your turn. Go ahead. Good luck. I don't know. I'm not. The new skill seems okay, but I think the current one is better. Personal preference, but we'll see. We'll see what happens once it's released and my small rush tool brain can be proven wrong. Though currently, though, I did play a bit of day one of the KC Cup, and I was just messing around and seeing how the format would be like, and the format was pretty not too bad. Like, it was pretty strong that it was pretty clear that I think the Royal Rebel deck was clearly the best deck currently, but it wasn't like it was unbeatable. Like, I was definitely losing some games. Like, I think I was sitting around, I think, rank 40 for most of the day until I got bored and just closed the game, but it seemed like it was doing, like, I was definitely losing a decent amount of games. Definitely winning more than I was losing, but, like, I don't know, can this top the current skill? I don't know. I think maybe without some balance changes to the current skill, I don't see too much of a point in using this one. Like, it has to do, this thing, I mean, I guess this new trap card's also going to make it really hard for the current deck to be good. Because as soon as they draw this, that is really bad for it. It's generally always hitting directly. It's really a toss-up between what's the current best deck in the game and the new skill for it. It makes it really hard to, really hard to judge if it can be better. Summon Invasion over the 2 level 7s, pop everything face down. I mean, then you're not using this card, though, right? So you're just using the same thing as the current skill. What's the difference, though? Oh, you attack with everything on the field? I guess. That'd be a very sad way for this deck to go, though. Literally using Invasion over this card. Poor guy. But yeah, that's true. That's true. You can use Invasion over this card. And just nuke your opponent's field. Wait, doesn't Invasion have to be face up as well? Wait, no, Invasion doesn't work. Right? Wait, no, Invasion doesn't work either. Invasion's on face up level 4 or lowers, right? Your opponent's setting cards face down. You're not nuking their field. They're saying no. You're not doing it. I was thinking, like, so, like, I was pretty sure during the KC Cup, your opponent summons the maximum monster, that's level 10. This thing couldn't pop it. It was really annoying because it's too high of a level. So it definitely has a level requirement on it. Alright, anyway, we've spent enough on this card, okay? Let's talk about the next card on the list. Dark Doom Dread Ruler, who looks like an Eldritch card. This card literally looks like Eldritch, right? Look at his face. Surely that is literally taken from Eldritch, like, in Inspiration, right? That is literally an Eldritch Lord face right there. Alright. Alright. Send one zombie monster from hand to the graveyard. This card gains 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. Then, if you have a level 7 or level 7 zombie type monster in your graveyard, inflict 700 damage to your opponent. Zombie isn't even an archetype currently, so does this deck even function? I guess with the tribute fodder in this card, maybe it's now functionable. If that's even a word. 3,500 attack beats over most things. There's no other secondary zombie monster, right? We haven't got a skill for zombie either. I guess Red Eyes? Wait, is Red Eyes a zombie? Okay. No, surely he's a dragon, right? Maybe a dragon. We don't really have another boss for this deck currently. You can't play a deck with only one boss. You need another tribute summon, right? Is there any other, like, current... Does anyone have any ideas for, like, where you would play a zombie deck or how you'd play it? Because you'd have to use some sort of generic skills. The first thing that comes to mind is Red Eyes, right? Because isn't Red Eyes generic? Like, really generic usable? And it gives you a second boss, so I guess Red Eyes makes sense to me. Better Arise Dragon? Yeah, but the thing with Arise... Oh, aggro. Yeah, you can just play aggro with it, I guess. Yeah, it works for aggro, that's true. You play Hammer Crush Draw and stuff too. So I guess it's just like, Zombie just becomes like a pseudo aggro deck. You just play like Dragius or some shit. I'm not sure it's necessarily a better Arise Dragon. Doesn't Arise Dragon really pop a card on the field? This thing isn't popping anything. This has like an easier condition on it. Well, potentially easier. You actually have to play enough zombies that you can actually use this thing, so you're probably playing a lot of garbage tribute fodder. It says level 7 zombies. Well, yeah, but you're going to be playing the package for this deck, right? You're going to be playing this dude, and the 0 attack cards. So you're going to have plenty of zombies to choose from. It's just, you have to have another boss monster for this deck, because you can't rely on just drawing this card for lethal, so you have to have actual, like, bosses for the deck, you know? So it has to be, like, stuck in an aggro or Red Eyes or something. Somewhere you can stick in another boss. I mean, it seems playable, sure. Is this playable as some of the other decks in the game? Probably not, but, I mean, if aggro's playable, this thing surely is playable. Just an aggro variant of this will be playable. Alright, but that should be it of basically everything. So we've gone through the structure deck, we've gone through the box. Thoughts on the box? I think the box seems like a nice box purely for this trap card alone. I think this trap card will make absolute waves, because I don't think, like, if Royal Rebel doesn't get a skill change, this thing just 100% hard counters that deck. Because that deck always wants to hit directly, always. There's only a couple of times with your big boss that you're not hitting directly. But the little guy hitting directly, this thing just completely stops that. Your invasion is no longer smacking you in the face, which is just a minus... This thing just stops 2,300 damage, which is insane. Stops Dragius. It doesn't stop the Thunder deck piercing you too much, so I think Thunder probably got the biggest win from this box. They got a new piercing card, and they play around the guard. So I think Thunder probably took the biggest win from this box, as well as, I guess, maybe some of the Royal Rebel stuff might be super good too, I don't know. Yeah, I think, yeah, Thunder probably took the biggest win from the box. Hard counter the Rebels, but near uses its maxims and Thunder, unfortunately. Oh, yeah. Oh, it only matters when you're against one of the maximum decks, though, because only one of the maximum decks is really, like, actually doing maximum summoning, right? And that's the The big OTK guy? Because Harpies only does it rarely. The Cyburst one doesn't really do it that often currently. It's not really that good anyway. This is just a meta-dependent thing. Overlord, you're winning by direct attack, so it doesn't matter? Okay. I don't know, it seems like it will see play. Seems like it'll be good. It's also really good for Royal Rebel, by the way. So like this is a nerf to Royal Rebel, but it's also technically a buff for them as well, considering Royal Rebel, they set up their field, and then they've got one monster on the field. So this thing can at least sort of stop you taking a bit of damage, potentially. But at the same time, just setting a monster normally does that as well, so, you know. It just helps when your opponent's doing like board cleary type stuff. It's definitely a hard counter for the Royal Rebel deck. Alright, but that's basically it for the Rush stuff. And we talk about my thoughts on the structure deck is it seems very good. Very hard to tell how good it is, considering it seems very, very, very combo orientated. So, until I know like specifically what combos we're doing with this deck, because I'm already like theorizing a couple of them with the, you can banish this card with this dude, this thing gets banished, it summons itself, it sends a zombie to the graveyard, you can then, I don't know, reduce this thing's level by 2 with Plague Spreader, bring back Plague Spreader, use this thing with the Plague Spreader, make Sun Saga, then you Sun Saga the whole field whilst you still have this thing on the field as well. Well, that sounds like a crazy combo already, and that's just like me just coming up with bullshit in my head. Like, there's going to be some crazy combos you can do with this crap. So, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's hard for me to tell you how good this deck is until we actually see the combos in action and people have tested it and come up with the, like, the perfect combos for the deck. Because just looking at it alone, they all seem crazy, so should be good. But yeah, that should be it for... I'd love for you to talk about the leaks and what it might mean for the main box. Huh? I mean, I've already spoken about the leaks. This thing? We already spoke about this earlier. This just means we're just guaranteed getting a synchro box next, which is coming up at the start of next month, end of this month sort of time. Which will be synchro, which is absolutely fantastic for content creators, because goddamn, we love it when there's anime boxes like this released. That is a cash cow right there. Holy. And if Resonator gets literally a single Resonator card that is supportive of the, like from the new stuff they got for Resonator, even a single card for it would be fantastic. Any of them. Like, the card that didn't get any play in Master Duel, it seems like, does see some play, but doesn't use the other side of its effect, which I think is really funny. I think I spoke about this during the Master Duel stream too, or something. This thing currently, it's used in Master Duel sometimes because it gives you the target for your big level 10 synchro, having something banished. But no one ever uses it to search for a Fiendish Chain. I think in Duel Links, having a trap card that can banish and search a Fiendish Chain is actually like, that would actually see some play, I reckon. So I think it'd be kind of fun to have these two in the game. Have the Fiendish Golem in the game. I think that'd be fun. 2,000 more attack, you banish it, then you can grab a copy of Fiendish Chain in your RDA deck. And that sounds kind of fun. So I'd like to see some more Resonator stuff. As for the Synchro and TG stuff, though, I didn't play TG from the new Master Duel stuff, so I'm not really sure how that deck functions. Neither do I really know how the Synchro stuff functions, so no clue how these two work. Or the newer cards would work, they might potentially add. I've only played this one, so... Alright, boys, that's going to do it for the stream. I'm going to go ahead and test out some zombie stuff for a video tomorrow, I guess. So, look out for that one, and subscribe and stuff. Yeah. Catch you all in a later stream. Hope you guys appreciate my desktop background, by the way. My silver, thank you, thank you. Alright, catch you